Hey there friends, welcome back to another Legally Armed America video. I'm of course Paul Glasgow here, the one and only truth pimp, dealing you a vulgar display of logic and reason on a daily basis. And today's video is going to be a short one because it's so important. I want to get my point across really fast. But it's not going to be an uplifting one. In fact, it's downright depressing and heartbreaking. Judges playing doctor just because they have their own feelings, things they don't know anything about, determining what they think is best for a child. Again, when they have zero expertise in that area. I'm talking about Fentress County, Tennessee, Judge M. Todd Burnett. During a nasty custody battle back in 2019, this judge discovered that a family of children, the Iben kids, had never been vaccinated. Instead of respecting parental choice at that point or calling for real medical input, that would have been a good idea, this judge declared that not vaccinating these children was basically child abuse. He set up a custody ultimatum. Vaccinate now or lose ground. In other words, whichever parent, remember they're getting a divorce, whichever parent would agree to vaccinate the children who had not been vaccinated at that point, they'd get custody. What a tiebreaker, right? So after this idiot judge offered up whichever parent would vaccinate the kids, they'd get the kids, the mother caved in. The children were rushed in on the same day that ruling was made. And one of the little boys, 5-year-old Isaac, got peppered with 18 vaccines in one day. That's 18 chemical concoctions at once into a completely unvaccinated 5-year-old child. How stupid is that? How stupid. A developing immune system with a 5-year-old child, and you dump that much stuff. What a kid, what do you weigh, 40 pounds? 30 pounds? I mean, 5-year-old kid, right? You dump all that stuff into them, 18 in one day. It's probably the size, I don't know, a half gallon. Like dumping a whole jug of orange juice into a child. Same day. Let's hit this kid with a massive antigen dump all at once. No careful spacing or monitoring, no individualized assessment, just a court-ordered blitz dumping these chemicals into this kid's body. What do you think happened? Surely, vaccines are all safe to take. That should have been perfectly healthy, right? No, predictably, the child ran a 106. How do you die? How do you not die with that? 106 degree temperature. Stayed in the hospital for 12 days as a result of a judge with no medical background saying you got to do this. Then came the regression. This healthy, talking little 5-year-old boy went from speaking and acting normally to losing his speech completely. Today, Isaac is nonverbal, he's in diapers, he has to be bottle fed, and he needs 24/7 care for severe regression autism is what they're calling it. One decision, one family destroyed by a stupid ass judge. And speaking of that judge, untouchable. Judicial immunity. This man with zero medical background. He's not a doctor, no MD, no pediatric training, just a law degree and his own stupid ass opinion. He gets to play doctor and force dangerous medical interventions in family court that have severe consequences. This is careless, and unqualified decisions like this are all shielded. They're all immune, so they can do whatever they want. There are no consequences. He doesn't answer for any harm that he causes. The system protects this asshole while the child and the family will suffer until the day that little boy dies. Parents, this should terrify you. As parents, we are our children's advocate. They don't know to ask questions. They don't know to refuse different things. They don't understand what their rights are. A 5-year-old child. And a judge, they literally put themselves up on a pedestal in court to even appear higher. So the kid is thinking that this is a position of authority. So the kid's not going to ask questions. Hello, parents, push back. Not just regarding vaccines, but anything. You have to educate yourself. Understand catch-up protocols regarding vaccines, the risks of piling on multiple shots at once. Look at the ingredients, the timing of them. Many parents are literally outsourcing their children's health and well-being to the system. The system doesn't want what's best for your child. The system is trying to check off a box on their new little government form. They're not looking out for your kid's well-being. You should. It's not just okay to question doctors and medical professionals. I think it should be mandatory. Everyone should do this on a regular basis. These doctors and medical people are human. Some of them are dumb. They can memorize things in a book, but they can't critically think. A lot of them are like that. Many follow one-size-fits-all protocols pushed by the same industry that profits from compliance. Yes, some of these doctors actually get incentives for that. And before anybody wants to start with the whole trust the science and the scientists wouldn't lie, blah, 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 all that crap. You remember COVID? Get the COVID shot. Now, we're going to give you a free hamburger and pay you money because if it's so good, we got to bribe you to take it. But get the COVID shot because scientists and the President of the United States told you this. Get the COVID shot because it will prevent you from getting COVID. You won't get it. And you can't spread it if you get the vaccine. Then they changed the wording of the meaning of the word vaccine so that it didn't mean an actual vaccine anymore. Because what they said was a lie. These are many of the same scientists. They work for the same companies that lied to you during COVID. They're pushing these vaccines to you now. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. That ain't my style. I'm not the kind of person that will sit here and tell you what you have to, other than saying you have to be your child's advocate. I'm not telling you what to and what not to put into your child's body or your own. That's up to you. You are the parent. I don't leave it up to a judge. I make those decisions in our household, myself and my wife. The thing I'm telling you is ask questions. It's not inconsiderate. It's not wrong. It certainly ain't against the law. No parent should ever let anyone. This is what I'm telling you don't do. Don't ever put 18 vaccines into your child at once. I don't care if they are 5 or 50. It's not an experiment we could ever run. I would love to see someone take a 50-year-old man, dump 18 vaccines into him in one day and see what happens. Probably die on the spot. The fact that a judge can do this infuriates me. And the fact that he has immunity makes it even worse. I have to be careful how I word this because YouTube's probably already going to crush this video anyway. But I want to make sure I don't get into any legal issues because this judge is still on the bench in Tennessee. Got reelected in 2022. I'm not calling for violence against this judge. What I'm saying is there should be a judicial process where you can sue the judge, where you can arrest the judge, where you can try the judge, and based on what he did to this family, potentially execute that judge. I'm not saying to carry out any kind of violence against this judge. I'm very clear about that. I'm not saying anyone should, and I don't want anybody to carry out any violence against. What I'm saying is there shouldn't be judicial immunity. There should be a process in place where you could arrest this man, you could put him on trial, and based on the results of that trial, possibly have the death penalty as a result of it. Because he has ruined this child's life. Oh, the child is still alive? Really? Do you know what it's like to take care of a child that requires 24/7 care? From the time they're a child, and on top of that, they can't speak. So they can't tell you what they're thinking, what's hurting, how they feel, nothing. I know because I have a 17-year-old just like that. So I know what it's like to have that type of a burden, and we welcome it because we love our son. But to have that kind of burden until the parents die, and then you wonder what's going to happen to the child after that, this is a life sentence for little Isaac and for my son. Granted, no judge did this to us. But this is a life sentence for Isaac. In a diaper, can't tend to himself, can't tell somebody my head hurts, my stomach hurts, my appendix just ruptured. That's why I think there should be a death penalty tied to this, and this judge should be on the hook for that. What happened to Isaac wasn't care. It certainly wasn't in his best interest. It was complete, reckless, court-ordered experimentation. A judge with no business making medical calls forced a brutal schedule that harmed a 5-year-old innocent child. And judicial immunity lets this asshole walk away clean. This type of madness has to stop. There's got to be stronger parental rights out there. Judges should not be making any decisions that have anything to do with medicine or any field that they are not a part of. A responsible judge, one that knew what he was doing, because this guy's clearly a dumbass. A responsible judge would have gotten a medical professional involved. And even if this guy did believe in the complete innocence of vaccines not possibly causing any harm to a child whatsoever, even if he believed, I would have I still would have been against it from a parent's rights standpoint. But at least let someone who works in that field give you some advice. This judge didn't seek out any medical professional advice. He just said, go get all 18. And whichever one of you parents give the kids vaccinations, you pretty much get the kids. That was the tiebreaker. And again, the mom caved. We need limits on judges playing doctor like this. We need some real accountability out there whenever these judges cause harm like this, especially to little kids like young Isaac. Friends, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer today. This was a story. This happened back in 2019. The reason why it's important for me, this is something that has to always be brought up. I don't need a current event to take place in order to talk about this kind of stuff. It should be talked about all the time because young parents are having children all the time. And I have some people who are very close to me who have young children or about to, in one case, have another child. And it hurts my heart to see them just go through the motions of allowing different people to tell them what to do from a vaccine standpoint. A lot of these pediatricians and doctors out there today, they don't do or don't even recommend some kind of a spacing. They want to give your child 2-3, vaccines at a time on a visit, come back 6 weeks later, get more on that schedule. What are we up to? 60 or 70 shots in a schedule now? It's a ridiculous amount of shots. If you believe in vaccines, and again, I don't tell anybody what to do, but if you do believe in vaccines and you do want your child to be fully vaccinated through the whole way, you can also be smart about it. You can do spacing. You can require that. And let me tell you one final thing before I let you guys go. The nurses in the pediatric offices, not just the doctors, but the nurses and the aides, assistants, whatever you want to call them, don't let them give you any lip, because they will. I remember whenever my son was, I don't remember, under 3. And at the time, he was very well functioning, right? And had the gift of speech. And we were, I feel like, pretty smart as parents, requiring a gap in the schedule. Like if they wanted to give him all this on this day, no, we're not doing that. You can give him this. We'll come back later. If it's another visit, so what? Guess what? You get to make more money. Yay. That's what you were about anyway, right? When we would question them and say, no, we're not doing that today, because they're not used to being told no, they would get an attitude with us. Like they were the boss. Like they had the final say. I am the parent. And they get mad at us. Get an attitude. Get short with us. Because we said, we're not doing that today. We're going to wait on that. You can give them this. That's it. So don't let them give you lip. When they do, give it right back to them, because that is your child. When that child is 50-something years old and you are still feeding that child, bathing that child, brushing that child's teeth, making sure that they didn't soil their pants, where is that person that got snappy with you in that doctor's office, that pediatric office? Nowhere to be found. You know why? Because it ain't their problem. It's your problem. Because it's your baby that they force these things on. That's why I say, be a good advocate and F everybody else's feelings. Screw them. Screw the pediatric nurse, the doctor, all of them. Screw them. You don't like what I got to say? I'll go somewhere else. We have to stand up for for our children, because nobody else will, and quite frankly, nobody else cares. Don't let them convince you that they care about your child. You know what they care about? Getting that check in the mail for that visit. They don't care about you. Do any of you get a Christmas card? Do any of you get a birthday card? Do any of you get a graduation card from the doctor when your child meets certain milestones in their life? No, because they don't care about your child. You know what you get in the mail? Either a bill or that notice that next visit is coming up. That's why they care and when they care about your child. Guys, if you liked the video, please hit that like button. Please look out for your kids, guys. Please look out for your grandkids. And I know it's a tough one. I know I'm certainly not suggesting anybody force or tell somebody what they should do. Just encourage people to ask questions. Google it. Look into things. I know all the internet is poison with pro-vaccine. Yay! They probably, if you would have Googled back then, is it safe to put 18 shots into a kid at once? Well, of course it is. Because it's all polluted. They're all poisoned. I'm talking about the internet. But we have to be the ones that are standing up for these kids. Because they really don't have any. I mean, the kids don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, doctors were put up on such a pedestal, you know? So just please approach this with caution, because some people will get mad. I wouldn't go off on rants about don't vaccinate your kids. Don't do that. That's probably not the right thing to do. Even if you believe that, that's not the right approach, because somebody will automatically be standoffish. And remember also that usually, hopefully, husband and wife come from two different families. So it's two different backgrounds. One might react one way. The other might react a totally different way based on their upbringing. Seen that also. So just be careful out there, guys. There are right ways to approach this kind of stuff, but look out for those kids. Because nobody will have more regret in their heart than you whenever you are still brushing your child's teeth when they are 40 years old. Don't forget, guys, if you're looking for a book to educate yourself and to educate the idiots out there who can't think for themselves regarding mass shootings, go to damnliars.net. Again, damnliars.net, and get my brand new book, Damn Liars.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.